taking Derek in for his first look at the Bloody Bucket. Bloody Bucket pretty much sits on the Idaho Wyoming border. This is our first time coming into it from the Wyoming side. I do believe by the time we reach it, we'll be in Idaho. What I really like about the Bloody Bucket is the several Bigfoot sighting reports that have come out of there over the years. Are kind of the same report, even though from different people in different years, where they keep on seeing 3 of them together. And the 3 they see together is usually down by the creek in the willows. Jenny and I have had some pretty cool experiences camping out there in the Bloody Bucket or near the Bloody Bucket. We was out there on the, I think it's Whiskey Flats or Whiskey Creek, as far back as you can get. Jenny and I were tent camping, and something just before dawn woke us up rock clacking. Actually, it was kind of weird. What actually woke us up is on the mountainside behind us, not very far from our tents. We woke up to a coyote howling, and then after it was done with its morning howling, and it actually sounded very happy. I mean, if you can detect happiness out of an animal's voice, that coyote seemed happy to be alive. And anyway, woke us up, listened to it for a little while, and then it stopped, and we started drifting off to sleep, and crack, 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 you know. And the rock clacking would, you know, last 5-10 seconds, and then stop for a minute or two. Sometimes as long as about 10 minutes, I'd be drifting back off to sleep, and it would do it again. And after about an hour of doing it, and it wasn't very far from our tent, after an hour of doing it, I decided to go out and see what it was. And as soon as I zipped the tent open, I waited for it to rock clack to try to disguise the zipper. And while it was rock clacking, I unzipped it, and it quit immediately. And I never did find tracks or what it was that was doing it. And it never started up again after we went out and looked around. And then the next year we were there, just before, just as the sun was going down. It was a crazy several days. Jenny and I were the only ones back in the Bloody Bucket area, the entire canyon. Only ones back there, and I think the reason is because it was a poor weather weekend. Like in April, it rained damn near the whole time we were there. But it cleared up one evening right around dinner time, and I think Jenny was in the we were in a pop-up trailer. Jenny was in finishing up dishes and cleaning up after we ate, and I was sitting outside, and it was like a scene out of Finding Bigfoot at the end. That's what it reminded me of. All of a sudden, it sounded like at least 3 different creatures doing Bigfoot vocalizations, and it sounded exactly like Finding Bigfoot. And what was going through my head is, oh, there's someone else here camping, and they're into Bigfoot. They're doing Bigfoot howls, you know. And then I go in the trailer and ask Jenny, I'm like, did you hear that? And she didn't hear it, but, you know, her doing her thing, and the canvas, I guess maybe the canvas was thick enough to...
No, it was me doing dishes.
Yeah, so, anyway, we ended up hopping in the vehicle and going looking to see who did this. So we went all up and down the canyon, and then it sunk in that it was just us. It wasn't someone playing Finding Bigfoot. It was just us. So I don't know what it was, but it sounded like at least 3 Bigfoot vocalizing back and around. And by the time we got back looking to see if anyone else was camping there, it was pitch black, because I mean the sun was going down when this happened. So I expected a crazy night. You know, I just kind of thought, oh, this is probably going to keep up all night. We never heard it again. Perhaps us driving up and down the canyon spooked them. But to me, it sounded like 3 different distinct voices, all kind of vocalizing back and forth at nearly the same time. Went on for 15-20 seconds. And then the Bigfoot sightings in that area is always 3 of them. So who knows? And obviously I know the difference between a coyote and something else. I was telling you about the rock clacking incident the year before. You know, no question in my mind that was a coyote yipping and howling happily. That Whiskey Flats, or Whiskey Creek, whatever it's called, you can't get in there with the trailer. You have to tent camp back in there. When we get to the Bloody Bucket, I'll kind of point it out that we're there for you people. Bloody Bucket's kind of a long section on the Idaho side. This gal I work with, she's grew up in Montpelier, and the Bloody Bucket is, I don't know, 10 miles or whatever back behind Montpelier. And I knew she was from the town of Montpelier. That's where she grew up. So I was asking her about the Bloody Bucket, and she knew absolutely nothing about it. And she's like, I'll ask my dad. The following week she comes into work, and my dad's like, he wants to know what the hell you want in the Bloody Bucket. And I'm looking at her like, she didn't know I was into Bigfooting. I'm just looking at her like, I'm like, we're thinking about camping there. And my dad's like, yeah, he says you should stay out of the area. It's a truck that they just got. And that kind of was like, I was thinking, maybe it's the Bloody Bucket, because it's a great place to get your deer or your elk. Yeah, that was an elk anybody would have been proud of bagging, that's for sure. We're showing Derek the Bloody Bucket coming home from Tetons Palisades Bigfoot expedition. We pretty much stayed on the south side of the Tetons this whole expedition. Did a big hike yesterday. that truck's on a track, that dump truck. Looks almost like they took an excavator and turned it into a dump truck. Frankenstein.
Lots of private property.
Some of the trees are starting to turn yellow. We're gonna see less cabins now.
Yeah, we've got all the private land. Our national forest.
Might run across some people that are grandfathered in. The single sign that gave you any indication that there was a national forest back here from the main roads. Did you guys notice that?
Yep, not one. And until you saw that actual, there wasn't any indication, main road or otherwise. It's probably some little canyon. Here's your grandfather. Nice cabin.
Mm-hmm. It's like a nice place to come relax.
Yeah.
And there's the willows and stuff down below. Yeah, most of the people that have saw these Bigfoot and the bloody buckets during the hunt's going on right now. I don't know which one it is, if it's the bow, muzzleloader, or rifle. It's early in the season, so it's probably bow or muzzleloader. And I know it was a couple of hunters on the bow hunt that saw the 3 Bigfoot down in the willows. One of the guys that spotted them down there thought it was 3 people in fur-covered snowmobile suits from head to toe, and he was just confused checking them out. And the largest one noticed him and like made some swiping motions at the other 2, like, let's get out of here. And then they took off for cover into the trees and everything, and he's just confused. And he walks down into the willows to where they were standing, and as they disappeared into the trees, one of them's shoulder brushed a branch, the largest one did, and he's looking up at this branch that's 8 feet off the ground, and then it sunk in that those weren't people. That dude's shoulder's 8 feet off the ground. So that's a little taste of one of the sightings there. I'll put in the description of this video on YouTube a link to a couple of the Bloody Bucket sighting reports where we actually hiked through the area, showing off the area and telling you in depth what they reported. But yeah, he was thinking, that is odd. Why are people out here in the fall in furry snowmobile suits, It's just not something you see. Your mind doesn't accept it. Until you realize it's 8 feet at the shoulder. So yeah, that tallest one was over 8 feet tall if his shoulder hit the branch.
They're out there, good. They're skinning.
Yeah, they got a deer or an elk.
Looked like a deer is what it looked like.
They looked like they were putting them in looked like they were putting some of it in a cheese bag.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call those.
Well, I guess I've never been either way, so.
Yeah, I've been through the Bloody Bucket so many times, and our very first time into Georgetown Canyon, we saw that mountain lion.
Yep, we did.
Alright, change of plans.
We're going to Georgetown.
It still goes past the Bloody Bucket. It's just on the. It's on the. No. East. I think that it separates east to west.
Significantly
We'll
less
be on
of a
the-
road, so it's going to be a little bit funner.
We'll be on the west side of it.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're in for.
Yeah, we have no idea if this vehicle can make it, but we're going to try.
That definitely is a whole different story. This road is significantly different than what we were just on.
Yeah, I just can't pass this up. It may be another year or two before we're in a situation where we can drive this. Didn't even know it existed till now.
If we could drive
this still, Georgetown Canyon still takes us into the Bloody Bucket area. There's got to be a spring.
Completely different.
I can handle 15 miles of this.
Maybe.
If it don't get worse than this.
Yeah, we've been up Georgetown and came out in Soda.
That's right.
So there's a right-hand fork and a left-hand fork, and this must be the right-hand fork. Because we took left-hand clear. Well, you know, right when we decided to turn left and go to Soda, if we would have went straight, it might have came out right here.
To tell you the truth, once Betty's dad figured out we were back here looking for Bigfoot, he suggested that we check out the Georgetown Canyon side of the Bloody Bucket.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
And then we're not even 5 minutes in there and a mountain lion runs across the road in front of us. Really wild place.
Yeah, that was the weekend we went up to listen to Dr. Melton.
Yep. That's some good rocks right here, buddy.
Yeah, he did a lecture on relic hominids. And then the next morning we go up into Georgetown Canyon to look for Bigfoot.
Oh, that was good. Almost scratch all the way down the side of your car.
Oh, it looked good with the other 1,000.
Just saying that was pretty significant. I'm gonna roll the windows down.
I've actually given up on preventing that, by the way.
Entering active mine and blasting area. Attention. Road construction and mining activity ahead.
Doesn't look like anyone even hardly uses this road.
We're remote enough, people are blowing shit up back out here.
Oh, it smells good up there.
It does, that's why I wanted to roll the window down.
It smells like fall.
The windows down if there's any vocalizations we might hear them.
Yep. It's another reason.
Hope you guys like our dirt road roundtable drives.
You're seeing it for the first time, we're seeing it.
Yeah, we haven't ever been on this road.
We've been part way in on the other side of this. Actually, both times we went up there, we got stopped by snow.
Yeah, that's why.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we might have explored this if it wasn't for the snow.
thick as hell to the left and not so thick on the right. Pretty wide open on the right, but that's north side to a south side, you know, or a mountain, so. Should say north facing, south facing.
We got a blog about a guy's Bigfoot experience in Georgetown Canyon. I think it was the left-hand fork side. If I can find that blog report that he sent us, I'll put it in the description of this video for you guys. I consider that area part of the Bloody Bucket too. When you look at it on a map, it's the same area. The guy that sent me his report had no idea that it is the Bloody Bucket. Because I brought it up, I'm like, oh, I can put that with my Bloody Bucket Bigfoot sightings. And he's like, what's the Bloody Bucket? Like right where you were at? Just the Georgetown side? It's off.
Nice little old rut.
I hit that just the way I planned it. All worked out. That was a deep rut. On the top of Sasquatch Canyon, there's ruts so deep and crazy that this, I doubt it would make it over all that. My Jeep barely made it over all of that.
There are 3 bald eagles flying in the air.
Serious?
Yep.
You can see their big white tails from here.
Yeah. Which is very cool.
Oh, they are bald eagles. Wow. 3 of them circling around. I wonder if they're circling over a carcass. Oh, there's more above them.
Oh my god.
There's at least 5 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, I wonder what they're doing here.
There must be a dead animal. They scavenge just as much as vultures do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is cool.
That many at once.
Yeah, they probably found someone's wounded deer that ran off and died.
Yeah.
Or a gut pile.
Yeah, there's probably gut piles all over up here.
Potentially from the guys that were just skinning one.
Oh yeah, they were just skinning one.
There's a dam or something back in there. Oh, I bet you that's the mining.
Oh yeah.
That's obviously man's intervention right there. No question.
This road's gnarly, man. It's gnarly, it's narrow.
Yeah, I bet you could get ugly. Wrong time of year.
Yeah, you don't want
Wrong type of weather.
to be up here in the snow or rain in this vehicle.
I lost where he went, but he was on the ground. He went straight up and then over. Some type of bird. I'm sure we caught it on video. The dash cam. That's right, we got turned around when we saw the mountain lion. We got turned around because of snow.
Yeah. Yep, the 2 times I've been in Georgetown, I had to turn back from snow. I was hoping it was the shadows. This looked painting it. It's not too bad.
No, not too bad. But I'm pretty thankful so far we haven't come across another vehicle going the other way.
It's definitely a 1-lane road.
Little campsite. That's a road that goes up somewhere, looks like.
ATV road.
Yeah. Where's that side by side, dang it? At the store.
Our sponsor has not sent it to us. Please sponsor us. We need a side by side. Definitely would open some more places up for us.
That's a good rut.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
I would belly it. Well, that works too, I guess.
I'm gonna get that wheel on the side of it and then straddle it.
Yep, that's what I'd have did.
Whoa!
Yeah, you got to straddle it.
Great, then you get a turn off. It's like, eeny, meeny, miny, go forward.
Yep. That's the 220.
That means nothing to me.
220 and it starts with mud.
Oh shit. Getting above what we were. And it does start with mud, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no turning around now.
Yeah, it's like, what is the 220? Were we supposed to go that way? Were we supposed to go this way? What?
I know. I hope we're going the right direction. This looked like the main road, though.
Yeah, it did.
It's pretty ain't it for a main road.
Really hasn't been bad, though. We're definitely getting us some elevation now, though. Oh, you can see how they just tore that whole mountainside up.
Like a large-scale mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they said. I hope this just doesn't take us to the mine. Man, man, they just tore up that whole mountainside.
Here's some official sign. Well, we may be going to the mine. Canyon Mine. There's sheep.
Oh, sheep.
You're gonna get blown up.
Oh yeah, it's a major mine. In the middle of nowhere. I have a feeling the road from now on is going to be a nice one. That's the way they come in and out of the mine. Ruts. That's our style. I know we're always looking for new dirt roads to drive. Besides the mine, it's beautiful back here.
Yeah. Literally taking us down into the mine.
They've got to have another way in and out of here than what we just went through. Look at the size of that dump truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some of the biggest machinery you can get for a mine up here.
I've driven a front end loader that was the size of that thing. I remember
two-story house.
I remember sitting up into that thing and looking down on the semis and saying, "Man, this is cool." The thing was huge. Oh, Bruce Sherrod.
So
let me drive that sucker.
According, where am I supposed to be going?
Left. Yeah, left. Haul road, no public access.
Public road access straight.
Straight? Oh. Okay, it looks like you're going right into the mine then.
But you're not.
Okay.
You're going to go out through the mountain right there.
Nice.
Nice, yeah, that's much better. That is some big machinery.
Yeah, they just had to leave it.
Jeez, oh criminy. I can't believe the size of that rock truck.
It's a house on wheels.
Yeah, it's huge. No idea.
No clue. Probably like it that way.
Yeah.
Don't know unless you stumble upon it.
It is a massive scar on nature, though.
Oh, I was talking about the reclamation process for those worried about it.
Yeah,
oh, look at there's one of the trucks going up the hill, full. Oh, it's a phosphate mine. Wait till the truck's gonna come up here, right here.
Yep, sure enough.
Yep, he's not going very fast. Imagine the tonnage that he's packing.
Oh man, he's full too.
I've never seen one actually driving that wasn't on television.
They probably only get like 5 miles to the gallon. I mean,
One.
5 gallons to the mile. Let's put it that way.
Wow, that's a big one.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Phosphate. What do they use phosphate for? It's fertilizer, right?
Fertilizer, yeah. They grow.
That's a fertilizer mine.
It's it's to grow crops so that we have food.
Well, we're right back on the kind of road that we left to.
Yep.
Nice.
Just had to go around a mine.
They must have their own roads in and out.
Well, I'm sure that big road, they got to get them trucks up in here somehow.
And they ain't coming on this
That's
one.
why it's no public access on that other road. I'm sure that's what that's all about.
Belongs to them.
That is straight down. Just Throwing that out there.
All right.
Yes, it is.
I promise you I won't go off.
You might hit a couple of trees on the way.
Yeah, that would be our only saving grace, is hitting a tree. I hate to say it, but
Is that Devil's Club on the side of the road here? I can't tell.
all this stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what Devil's Club is.
Oh, you don't want to wipe your butt with it. Let's put it that way.
That's raspberries. It's raspberries.
Is it really? Oh, they are raspberries.
I want some.
Oh
It is.
my
That is a
goodness.
raspberry. You got a fresh one right there. That's some thick
Wild
raspberries.
raspberries
Right
everywhere.
there, Jim, right in front of you.
Probably covered in dust.
Another one over here. On the other side of the hill too.
Yeah, they're on both sides. Go all the way up. We need to keep our eye open for bears. They're going to be eating as much as this they can stuff for the next couple of months. Thimbleberries. Are they raspberries or thimbleberries, Jenny?
Raspberries?
I thought I saw some thimbleberries in there too.
Yeah, well, one of the whatever hearts or whatever little mini
There's a
tomato
whole bunch
things.
back there, but these ones have all been picked clean.
Well, if we find like a turnoff or a campsite with them, we'll stop for 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really sweet, tart.
You were also in a nice little perfect spot with lots of sun that hit right there on top of that.
Here's more
Because
raspberries.
these things like the sun.
Yeah, these grow in the Uranus too. Lots of people will go up and pick the raspberries.
I can imagine if Bigfoot would like berries just as much as the bears.
I suspect.
Just throwing that out there.
A whole bunch right there.
Educated guess, yeah.
Big old red ones.
Oh, you're saying that there was a bunch of actual, not plants, but actual berries.
Yes.
I saw the red all throughout them. Yep, ripe raspberries potentially be a bear or Bigfoot sighting for us today. Keep your eyes peeled. That goes for you viewers. We can't see everything. This camera might pick up something that we don't see. Like watching Jenny eat berries and one runs across the road in front of us. My parents in the fall used to take us out picking huckleberries in the area that we were just camping this last week.
coming out the other side, because that looks like it.
The mine road.
Yeah. That's the other end of it, where them big machinery goes. Start getting dusty. Public road's straight. So we're just
They want us to cross.
crossing the hall is all we're doing. That's definitely a significantly larger road.
It handles vehicles the size of houses.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this area we're in doesn't get used all that often. There's someone on a four-wheeler over there.
They're off on the side road though. Georgetown left. Johnson.
I just want to look at this
Diamond
sign
Creek.
for future reference. Will you take a picture of that sign for me? May find out that Diamond Creek's the place I want to go to someday. I'll go home and look for Bigfoot sightings in those areas. Diamond Creek sounds familiar.
Big old X there. It's where you land that helicopter.
It's actually, isn't it a border for Google Maps? I don't know how that works. What was that sign
Probably
say?
the same sign that's telling you the diamond's this way.
Well, we know that the 220 wasn't for us.
Yeah. And remember Crow Creek.
Yeah. This road's probably only usable 3 months out of the year.
Not if you own a snowmobile. Or a couple of them.
And there's always that in-between time where you can't use an ATV or a snowmobile.
Yeah. That's what the horse is for.
Or a good pair of boots. and
shit.
a lot of motivation.
Cold. Mud. Miserable. Beat to hell.
This has been cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, well worth the turn on.
I've been wanting to explore this part of the Bloody Bucket anyway, so it all worked out. Actually feels more remote. These are the type of diversions that helped me and Jenny stumble on to Ephraim's grave. Because Ephraim's grave, the biggest bear ever killed in Utah, grizzly bear. Or recorded anyway. We've stumbled upon his grave Bigfooting twice in remote locations. Just had no idea it was there, out there looking for Bigfoot, and bam, we stumble upon it. For those that don't know about old Ephraim, he was 9 feet 11 inches tall, 1,200 pounds. His skull was sent to the Smithsonian, and from what I understand, 6 years ago, the Smithsonian sent it back to Utah State, and they keep it in their old library. So if you're ever at the old library at Utah State, look for Ephraim's skull, the largest grizzly bear ever killed in Utah.
Long time ago.
Like 1928, the late mid-20s.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, a trapper from Malad, Idaho, trapped him and shot him a couple of times to take him down. He was wreaking havoc on ranchers' cattle and sheep, and I guess a few weeks before the trapper finally caught up to him, that old Ephraim killed like 15 sheep in one night.
Obviously a problem bear.
Yeah, that way. I'm just...
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
would
sure.
think that way is
That's
the
what
way.
I meant, that way.
This is 242 or 342.
I was actually going to stop there for a second, but someone's parked here. You guys ready to open windows again, or?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, no air conditioning.
Yeah, I prefer the windows down. Being up here into this is awesome.
Everything on the left side of us is pretty much the Bloody Bucket area. Almost all the way to Montpelier Reservoir. A deer hunter's camp.
Yep, a big camp. There's a lot of them there.
Looks like a nice powwow.
Yeah.
I got a nice spot.
Big family. That's a real nice spot.
I really like it down in here.
Yeah.
Come down in these spots and you're like, no wonder why Bigfoot gets spotted down here all the time. It's a great place to live. We're freezing you out, Jen?
Pretty steep. You might want to keep it slower.
I slid down in the mud, something just like this in my Jeep, and thought we were going to slide off the edge.
Oh, it was horrible.
And my back tire was inside of a rut,
It stopped.
and the rut stopped us from going. I really thought we were going off. That was
We're going.
like one of the scariest situations I've ever been in driving. Well, I was with Rogers in his rabbit when he did
raspberries.
Yep, those are raspberries.
when he did a full 360 on the freeway. I guess that was scary too. But that's the most scariest situation I've had driving myself.
I did that in my old short bed Chevy. My old 78 short bed Chevy I had.
Yeah, that was your first vehicle ever, wasn't it?
Oh no, that was my little Isuzu. It was my first big 4x4.
Oh, okay.
Remember the black one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did a 360 getting onto the freeway and that damn thing in a snowstorm too. 360, straightened out, kept going, never even stopped. Scared the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, Roger was driving us home from sheet metal school during a snowstorm and going under that overpass in Riverdale, going under it on the freeway.
Yeah.
We hit ice and just started spinning. I thought we were dead. And that,
His old yellow Bronco?
no, he was, his Bronco was in the shop. He was driving that little Chevette that his parents gave to his younger brother. He had that on loan.
It's like a little sheepherder's camp right here.
Yep. I can smell the sheep. Getting into some of the willows. I've heard a lot of people saying we should really stop and start talking to those guys that run the sheepherders camp.
Sure. Bet you they got some stories. Even if they're not Bigfoot stories, I guarantee you they got other stories.
Yep, though they run flocks that bring all the predators in.
Yeah. Wolves, bears, lions, who knows.
Now those guys live out here during the summer, most of the summer.
There was a canyon back there. Would be looked like it'd be a great little hike back down in that we just passed, by the way.
Want to go back and hike?
No.
The sheep were all in it. I saw the sheep.
Just meaning at some point that would actually be probably a pretty good hike.
I think they're just saving that spot for the hunt. They don't even have a single chair. No, there's their...
Probably out hunting.
It's only there for sleeping.
I think I recognize the shape of that mountain. We've been on the other side of it when we saw our mountain lion that's straight in front of us. Looks like the right shape.
Pretty, lots of colors.
I can smell fish.
We're right along the creek right there. There's a beaver down in there. Right there.
Alright, that's probably Jaria that I can smell. Beaver fever. You know, my daughter told me when she was about 13, Dad, I think I have beaver fever. I'm like, quit drinking the water. And she's like, Justin Bieber, Dad. I'm like, well, that's sick. That's a mental illness.
It's a mental illness. I was gonna say there's got to be another one. Probably the whole place.
Yeah.
This is
There's the lodge.
Huge one right there.
There's his lodge.
there's this big dam. Yeah. Here, let me back up for you people at home. Maybe you guys can see some of this. The Beaver Lodge. There's his dam. Don't know what this camera's picking up for you, but we're trying. There's his little Beaver Lodge house.
Basically a beaver's holiday inn.
It's got a nice house.
It's a big one.
It's a nice clear pond too. It's pretty.
Yeah, that's cool. He's created himself a nice little environment, little homestead.
And it creates habitat for other animals. The moose really like these areas. Moose will come in and actually eat the beaver store food in the wintertime. And the Bigfoot are often seen around beaver dams, beaver lodges, the willows. It also creates habitat for nesting ducks and geese.
See how
Oh yeah.
fall is all over there and everything. This place is actually
It's a great place for spotting bear and moose.
multiple households.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, something's rattling right up in those trees, huh? You hear that? Just chattering something. I don't know. Maybe it was just your squeak underneath, but I don't think so. Maybe.
This puts you right in the thick of things more so than the Montpelier side, in my opinion. I see why Betty's dad suggests we look around here for Bigfoot. And then our sighting report we got just a couple of years ago was in this area here. We actually hiked around where it happened.
ran into snow. We get close enough to the actual external exit of this?
I think there's some campsites coming up before we even get to that point. That's a retaining wall from hell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It does remind me of one of the spots we turned around at. Yeah, this has got to be it, huh?
Yeah, this is the left-hand fork. The right-hand fork is where the campground is when you go to Soda. Or to Diamond. We could have got there from Diamond. Remember how there was that turn back there?
I expected much longer of a drive to get over here.
Right through the mountain.
Right through the middle. Pretty close to where the mountain lion ran across the road.
Yeah, I was just on the other side of this one. Pretty much the mouth of the canyon coming in.
We were still around the people's houses and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're 500 yards from the nearest house about.
Need to call Rich Lewis down and run the mountain lion out of town. And have Hatchet and Skillet. Marlene. Oh, Marlene's the other guy's dog.
You done with the window again?
Nice little camp area right there, right by the willows. I think we've driven back up in there, Jen. This actually fills faster than the other way. On the freeway, through Bridger Forest, or whatever. Definitely a shortcut. Shorter mileage for sure. Yep, first time. Doesn't depress.
Doesn't disappoint.
More beaver dams. Off to the left. Jenny and I found, in my opinion, one of the best Bigfoot prints I've ever saw or casted right near a beaver dam. And we intentionally stopped to look around because we saw the beaver dam and lodge and everything, because there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings that take place around those areas. So we got out and started looking around and had a big time experience. 17 inches long, almost 8 inches wide at the toes, and every single toe was sunk in deep. The track had sunk in nearly 5 inches at the toe. I mean, not at the toe, but at the heel. The toes were sunk in at least 3 inches. And I believe we actually heard and felt it make that track. It leaped the creek off in the direction we were coming through the willows, and Jenny and I felt and heard the thump, and I thought a moose was stomping the ground. You know, it was that heavy and strong, and told Jenny, I'm like, keep your eye out for a moose. We might be in these willows with a moose. And then we found a bunch of Bigfoot tracks, but only one was like the definitive deep one, and you could see where it had leaped the creek to get away from us. So I'm thinking that impact is what we felt and heard. So when you're around beaver dams and lodges and all that, and the ponds, keep your eye open for bear, moose, and Bigfoot.
Yeah, I was thinking this is right just on the other side of this, because I think it was right here.
Just past this little road right here.
Yep.
Right here.
Just before here,
It was right here, and I went right down over and down in.
Yeah, we're right where the mountain lion crossed the road the very first time coming in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Wild place.
We were there.
Yeah. We're down in civilization. We're gonna end this roundtable drive. Hope you guys looked at the Bloody Bucket from Afton, Wyoming to Georgetown. Most of what was on the left side of us, most of the drive is considered the Bloody Bucket area. Bigfoot sighting hotspot. Keep watching.
We're gonna keep squatching.